Question and answers. Several people have asked where you get your colour inspiration from. Well, obviously I have it from old pieces, but as we're making this for a child, then they're not so interested in antique needlework in castles, particularly unless it's got a dragon on it or something. So if you could just pass me the books, Richard, I'm just going to show you. If you've got a massive selection of colours, then you might look in a book. This is a Beatrix Potter pop-up book, and you'll see some gorgeous colours here, which you can sort of begin to develop your colour choices around. So if you've got a fantastic stash like I have, then obviously that was a complete coincidence. But we pretty well matched those together, and that, you know, that's a lovely combination on the linen as well. Can you see that, Richard, on the linen?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's gorgeous on the linen. Obviously, colour choices against white or cream on a book look very different. But anyway, there's Mr. McGregor, which of course my husband's called McGregor, so we always have a little laugh about that. And or a very blatant colour choices here, but much stronger greens, much brighter colours. So perhaps, you know, I would delve into something like this and think, you know, these pretty well are these colours. I'm getting a huge amount of luck here, I have to say. So we take out that dull one, and just have those perhaps to just, you know, think that might be a combination you'd like. But of course, what they really like, sorry about this, reaching across, is, well, I really like that sort of thing. That's much more me. And you're getting gorgeous oranges and yummy colours that we used in the orange. You know, those colours are just screaming out. So combination of oranges and blues that I use a lot nowadays. Or you could go the complete Disney princess and find that, which of course, you know, you can find online. And the marketing people have done an awful lot of research of what will appeal to a 3-year-old. So, you know, these sort of colours are fantastic for them. So for a younger child, you might want to get something like that. Although I have to say, by the time that mine are these three stockings finished, my children might have grown a little bit, a bit older, my grandchildren. So hopefully we're going to choose the colours wisely. So Richard, I'm going to ask you a question. What colour would you choose for a dinosaur? Because I'm going to challenge you to make one for your grandson, and I know he's dinosaur mad.
Green.
Do we know that they're green?
No, that's what all the plastic models are made. Or grey.
Or grey, or dark. It's rather like we don't know what the sound are. We don't know if they go over, do we?
No.
Okay, fine. Okay, so I'm going to get you to choose some colours in a future moment, and to draw out a dinosaur. So you're going to have to choose which one. So perhaps we'll email Patrick or FaceTime later and find out what he really wants. So, right, the equipment you need. That's the other question. What if I haven't got any equipment? Well, you could put linen around a picture frame. You could use any sort of fabric. You know, this is just, if it doesn't work the first time, nobody's going to look at it and say, oh, that's all wrong. You know, just use a practice, use a piece as a practice, and then make your beautiful design later if you'd like to. So don't worry about anything. This is actually for fun. So I have I use the seat frame a lot because I can take it anywhere. And the other piece of equipment I use is a barrel clamp, which goes on the table like that, which I use when I'm outside in Richard's shed.
That would be the other way up, actually, for the barrel clamp.
Speaks our husband, who sets up endless retreat workrooms. Yeah, we had, how many tutors did we have? 6 tutors on the last retreat. And I noticed all the Royal School of Needlework girls love those because it keeps them absolutely rock steady. Just got to check that your table is good enough equipped to have it, so it's not too beveled at the edge or too deep for it. Or you can use a roller bar frame, and this one is just a very sort of basic frame, and you roll it up and keep tightening it. I've stitched the pieces at each end onto the tape here, and then I've rolled it so that the design is visible at the top section of the design. So when we start, we don't need the very top bit here because that's going to be folded in, but you start from here going down the edge. So we start actually with this background here. So, okay, and on this one, I've also, now this reminds me that this was my drawing on the, which was wrong, because I was tired, and I drew out the design, I drew out the shape, and then I went away, had a cup of coffee, came back, drew the shape out without checking, onto another piece, but I left my light box on, so I didn't actually notice I'd done that. Drew it out beautifully, of course, and but it overlapped. So really, with that very hard line in, I thought that would show. So I drew it out again on the other side. Now this is the wrong side of the linen, but it really doesn't matter. And I've put this onto this type of frame, which I find much easier to tighten actually with a screw at the side, but it's not as easy to hold with the Lowry frame. So there are really pros and cons with everything. If you do have a frame like that, you can use a Lowry stand which grabs them, or clamps like this, which you just get from a hardware store, which clamp the frame to the table, and I'll demonstrate that in the shed.